Hey everybody, so if you have a child out there who is anxious or nervous about going to the dentist or doctor for their very first time, or maybe they're going back again and they're still feeling a little anxious about it, I'm going to be breaking down some very simple yet practical tips that you can start implementing in order to help your child feel more comfortable during these visits. Oh, and just in case you're new here, hello, my name is Ashley, also known as Ashley OT. I am a pediatric occupational therapist, and this channel is all about providing parents with tips and strategies on child development. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, stick around and make sure you subscribe. But let's jump right into today's tip. So tip number one is to prepare your child ahead of time. So preparation is always key. No matter what you're doing with a child, the better you prepare them, the more the outcome is going to be for them. So one way that you can prepare your child for the doctor or dentist visit is to provide what's known as social stories. Social stories are basically just like they sound. They're short, simple stories and often have like simple pictures in it, and it just basically helps your child to understand the situation or the scenario that they're going to be involved in. So social stories are things that you can kind of create and make up yourself. You can find some online, or you can even gather and read some books about the situation that's going to happen. In fact, I'm going to leave some of my favorite books about visiting the dentist and visiting the doctor in the description below. Tip number two is to role play at home. So kids often learn best through play, and so my advice to you is actually play dentist with them or play doctor with them. You can use some actual play tools that represent the things that they may see at the dentist's office or the doctor's office. You can also kind of take turns playing the doctor, right? So you can play it at one time and kind of walk them through what's going to happen when they go to the doctor, and then you can switch roles and let them pretend to be the doctor or dentist and let them perform whatever things that they need to do to you. That way they kind of get a fun feel for it and it's not as intimidating and scary once they're actually there. Tip number three is to visit the office ahead of time. So if your child is going to the dentist or doctor, see if you can arrange a time to take your child there. You can take your child there to see if they will allow you to maybe tour the office, tour the building, maybe meet the staff, maybe meet the dentist or doctor that's going to be working with them personally. And this will give them a chance to kind of get a better understanding of where they're going to be when it's actually their turn to go visit this dentist or doctor in real time. Tip number four is to bring comfort items. So when it's actually time for your child to visit the dentist or doctor, make sure they have something that is familiar to them and provides them comfort. This can be something like a favorite blanket or a favorite toy or even a favorite sensory tool or fidget. Tip number five is to communicate with the provider. So if you know that, for example, your child needs things broken down step by step in order to reduce some of that anxiety, if you know that your child benefits from a visual schedule, let that provider know ahead of time. If you know that your child has certain sensory needs and your child may need some breaks or your child may need a little movement here and there, let the provider know ahead of time. Majority of providers would be happy to make the appropriate adjustments to make sure that your child is safe and make sure that they are as comfortable as possible when it's time for their visit. And tip number six is to offer praise and reward when your child finally gets through their dentist or doctor's appointment. It could be a simple favorite treat, it could be a favorite toy, or it can even just be extra playtime at home. So decide ahead of time what you're going to reward your child with for getting through something that could be very overwhelming to them. So I hope you learned a few tips in this video that you can start implementing in order to make your child's visit to the dentist or the doctor way less stressful. And make sure in the comments below if you found a different technique or something else that has worked for your child when visiting the dentist or doctor. Make sure you share it in the comments below so that other parents can see those tips as well. Oh, and also if you're wondering about some strategies to help improve your child's willingness to engage in toothbrushing, make sure you stick around for this next video.